So with this new event, solos have been added to Apex Legends, but the question is, do they belong in the game or not? Now, solos is something that has been asked for a very long time, and it's finally here. But the question is if the game fits into the overall style of Apex Legends. And the truth is that it honestly doesn't fit. It feels kind of out of place and very lonely, if that makes sense. But it is fun as fuck, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoy this game mode so much, especially since not a lot of my friends get on sometimes. But first, before we get into the good stuff, let's talk about the cons. Now, this game is built from the ground up to be a team game. So, of course, you need to mix your powers and you gotta make combos with certain characters in order to make it more efficient for you and your team. That being said, being able to pick one character and you only have their abilities can be really underwhelming, for example. Because not every character has exactly what you need, and because this is supposed to be a team game, there's supposed to be three of you. But there are some weird effects that this game mode has on Apex itself. Like for example, in ones and solos, you're of course gonna get third partied a lot more, and it's crazy. Like almost after every fight, you can guarantee there's gonna be somebody else that's gonna try to come in and kill you. And there are times where I get third partied and I kill them, and then I get fourth partied and I kill them, and I get fifth partied, and sometimes I kill them, sometimes I don't. Like it's just a lot. Like you don't always have time to heal, and the fact is that you don't have to worry about running into a full stack of people. Like it's just single players, so people aren't scared to third party anymore. Whenever you play regular Apex, people are not always so aggressive because you know that there's at least three people on the team, and of course, you're scared. You don't want to push it. Like, what if you run into all three people in a room? You kind of have to coordinate with your team on how you're gonna push exactly, and that means that third parties, even though they are very common, especially in Apex Legends, are not as common as they are in solos. Now, in my opinion, I think that there should be no purple shields in solos because the time to kill can just be so long sometimes, depending on what gun you use, of course. But sometimes the fights can last so long that you're bound to get third partied, and I think that's the main problem. The gunfights are kind of way too long for this to actually prevent any third partying. And I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, well, third party is part of the game, right? Like that's the way battle royales work." And yeah, that is true, but there's just sometimes the fights are just way too long, and people, you shoot at someone, they heal. You shoot at someone, they heal. They shoot at you, you heal, and eventually you do kill them. But by the time you actually kill that person or they kill you, somebody else in a close vicinity already heard the shots and is already making your way towards the fight to attempt to third party. Now, another issue that comes up with solos is the fact that this creates an even bigger gap between the good legends and the bad legends. For example, Lifeline, Pathfinder, Octane are all incredible legends to play on solos because they have so much utility. They either have speed or they have movement or they have self heals, and these characters are extremely good for that. Characters like Gibraltar, however, Caustic, can actually struggle a lot when in solos because you don't have anyone to back you up. Those are really support heavy characters, so you're very often not gonna see them at all. And this also includes Watson, who's supposed to be a very support character. Now, this wouldn't be too big of a problem, but it does get kind of annoying running into Pathfinder after Pathfinder after Pathfinder and having everyone zip around. Like, it's crazy. You'll actually see games where you're going to see 4 or 5 Pathfinders in the same area trying to kill each other, and they're zipping around, and all you hear is zipline, and you don't know whose zipline belongs to who. And the same thing can be said about race. Sometimes you just get a lot of race and a lot of octanes. Like, it's kind of weird, and it kind of kills the diversity of the game. Even though some characters are not as good as other characters, you will often see a wide variety of characters or legends in the regular game because you're a team and a lot of people make certain creations, certain legend compositions, and that's not the case in solos. Now, that being said, I would like to say that I do not believe solos could be any kind of competitive game mode. I don't think it's a true test of skill. Whenever you have professional streamers actually struggling to win back-to-back games like they do in other battle royales, and of course I think that is a problem. Now, I know that battle royales are very hard to be competitive, and I get that. I don't always think, or actually, I don't think that battle royales should be competitive or any sport of any kind because there's just too much RNG. But this goes especially for solos in Apex Legends because it's just too much cheese. Even though you can be the best player with the best aim and the best positioning, but you can't always win because there's just so many elements to this that you can die to almost anything. You can die to a person, you can die to the storm, you can not get guns, you can not find armor, and I mean that's just the way it is. And you don't have your teammates to back you up. It's just all up to you. Sometimes when you're playing regular Apex Legends, even though you don't find a gun, you do have teammates to rely on, or maybe if you don't find armor, your teammate will find armor, or vice versa, and that can, kind of cancel a lot of the RNG because it is still a teamwork game. But those are my main problems with it. Now let's move on to the good things about solos in Apex Legends, and that is that it's actually stupid fun. Now, of course, like I said, I'm not gonna consider this a competitive mode, but there is a lot of competition in it, and it's just, I don't know. I'm a person that loves competition, so I think these are super fun. And there are a lot of good things that actually come with this. And I know this is a limited time event, but I'm actually hoping that they actually keep this in the game. And before this event came out, I was 100% not for solos because I think Apex is a very team game. But after this, I really do hope they keep it on, and it's for multiple reasons. Now, that first reason is that playing solos is a good warm up or a good training for your aim or for your overall gameplay. If you want to warm up before you start playing ranked with the homies, then you can go to solos. If you want to warm up before you play regular Apex with the homies, then you can go to solos. If you want to practice your aim, you can go to solos. If you want to practice anything, dropping somewhere or like learning the map, you can go to solos. It's crazy. Like, we don't have a training mode, or we do, but it's not the best training mode. It's kind of like a tutorial kind of thing. So solos is the best possible way for you to get better at this game. There are times where teams play and they have that one person on their team that just can't seem to carry their weight. And this is fine. People are different. Not everyone's gonna be a superstar and all that. But sometimes that one player wants to actually dedicate themselves and try to get better at the game because they feel bad. That's the way I am. If I'm bad at any game, I just fight and train until I get better because I don't like getting carried in any game. So I know a lot of people are like this, and solos is actually a good answer for that. If you want to learn how to fight better in Apex Legends, then fighting is going to help you learn that. And you will not have as much fights in any other game mode except for solos because you're just going to run into more people and everybody's a threat. And unlike threes, you can only depend on yourself the entire time. No one is there to save you. Now, another good thing about solos is that it's a very good way to finish certain challenges. If you want to land somewhere and you want to get, knockdowns in a certain area, or you want to get kills with a certain gun, then you can do that. And you don't have to worry about letting your teammates down by dropping at a shitty spot every time, or worried about not being jump master and having your teammate drop somewhere else. And that's a good way to get things done. For example, I needed downs in Thunderdome, and if I play solos, I can drop Thunderdome every time. Like, it's not a problem. I don't have to worry about what anyone else wants. I don't have to worry about what they think. I can just drop there and get what just do what I have to do. And that's a really good part about solos. Now, my favorite part about solos is that it's a great way for new players to learn the ins and out of whatever legend they want. Now, since you have no one to rely on solos, you will learn to play that character pretty good. And whenever you do play threes with your homies, then you're going to be even better because you're going to have people to support you and you're not going to be on your own. So you're going to learn how to be kind of like a lone wolf with that character, and you're going to learn how to make that character the most efficient because, of course, in solo, no one's going to help you. So you have to do your best to survive. And that's going to kind of move on into threes. Like, if you can destroy people by yourself as Mirage, then you're going to be even better when you have good teammates and a good squad with good communication. So all in all, even though I did not want solos in the game to begin with, I do hope they stay in. And even though I do not think they are a true test of skill, they're just fun and they're really relaxing, actually. For some reason, like, if you just have some music on in the background, like me, what I do is whenever my homies don't get on, I just stream. I have some music on in the background and I just play solos, and it's a no stress area. If I die, I die. If not, I go off and I get good games, and that's good YouTube content, So that's kind of the way I see it. And I think that is the best way to see it because, of course, you're going to die a lot. And that's fine because you might be better than the person you're fighting against and you know that. But, it's a battle royale. And whenever the less people are on your team, the more RNG the game becomes. And if that makes sense. So that's kind of the way I think of it, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to have a lot of fun with this, and a lot of you are going to, use this as a way to learn whatever character you want to learn for ranked or whatever. And you guys should definitely go for it. If you haven't tried solos, you should really try it. You might really like it for all we know. And yeah, that's about it on my thoughts on solos. I hope you all enjoyed that. Anyways, guys, be sure to leave a like. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't subbed already, then make sure to do so. Also, I do stream almost every night if I don't work the next morning. So I will leave the description to my Twitch down below. Anyways, guys, that will be all for today. Hope you all have a good one. Make good choices. And I will see you all in the next one.
You are the Apex champion.